Thumbs up by the touchdown. I'm high stepping for the touchdown. I stay repping for the slums where the young bucks love to load it up just to bust rounds.
Fucking Gobert doesn't. Nobody likes Gobert. He's like the fucking devil to the NBA. Donovan doesn't like Gobert. Gobert doesn't like Donovan. Like, just nobody likes it. Just like a bunch of people that it's like living in a home, but you're living together because you have to.
I think Joe Ingles was a real glue for that team.
Maybe, but yeah.
Either way, we're off task.
Think at the worst, he misses 2 games. But even if they win one of them, I'll be all right.
It doesn't matter. Like, it's like even if we get that, it's like we're not getting past Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't know if we will either. I will gladly take Gobert this offseason, though. We already have an elite defense. Getting Gobert would just add to that.
Yeah, he's a great defender.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna put us in the waiting room and do a video, and then we'll go live. All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. I'm your host tonight, Matthew Briggs. Sam is taking a day away to get some beauty rest. Today, I got some exciting gentlemen with me representing the Jaguars. I got Mr. Bearded Guns himself, Justin Gonzalez.
Hello.
And he's on Luka Watch in the NBA. And he's on Battered Watch in the NFL. We got Colts commentator, Harish Nikala.
Luka, come on, man. I need you.
And our CIA agent of our own, a mayonnaise-eating CIA agent, Mr. John Ha.
I'm on Luka Watch too. Luka, I need you to sit on the bench.
All right, guys. Well, before we jump in, kind of NFL news, one kind of pertains to the AFC South. 2 new coaches have joined the lawsuit of Brian Flores. Thoughts, takes? Justin, we'll start with you. What's your take on this new news?
I hope everything gets resolved. And people get paid. That's all.
Harish, you always have a great opinion about what do you think?
I mean, it's interesting. I think, the lawsuits are fine. I think what's interesting is the NFL's new rules on minority coaching, saying that it's a requirement or mandatory to hire one minority offensive coach or GM. I think it's what the rule is. Again, I don't really think lawsuits or Rooney rules or David rules or Joe rules really matter until there's actual change in the league and there's something that comes from it. So we'll see. I mean, cool. Somebody's going to file a lawsuit and we'll see what happens. I don't really expect much from it, but we'll see.
John? Any different takes? No, not really.
Well, I mean, it's pertaining to the Titans in particular over the news of this last week. Yeah, I mean, Mike Mularkey confirmed in 2020 that it was a sham interview that was done for Ray Horton. It wasn't really a surprise at the time. It seemed as if Mike Mularkey was going to be the guy because he was the interim head coach and he had actually given us a little bit of success in the season. So it seemed as if it was the foregone conclusion. But, of course, that's where these Rooney Rule comes in, where it just feels as if from the beginning all of these interviews are a sham. But you want change, right? I think that you just look at the percentages of minority players and the percentage of minority coaches, it doesn't seem like it's even. So there should be change. But it definitely doesn't feel as if like the Rooney Rule is actually like providing any actual change. But yeah, in terms of like what was going on, it seems pretty clear that the Titans just did what they had to do by rule just to move on. Hopefully these guys can get what I hope these guys get opportunities that they've been deserved and overdue, but I don't have the answers. I'm just it's too big for me. I know I'm not, and I'm just a dum-dum. So,
well, one thing the Titans do have looking out for them, John Robinson wasn't a part of that.
No, I mean he had just come on board, and I don't think he. It seems as if he was pretty much in the dark about everything that was going on too. It seemed as if Mularkey was hired before him. I can't remember the timeline, but it's one of those things. Does it mean that the ownership is racist? I don't know. Does it mean I don't know what it means? It's just it just seems as if. It just seems like
sounds like a bunch of malarkey.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest problem. I mean, here's the thing: is that this whole thing could have been avoided if they just not gone with Mike Mularkey, and I think we would have been better off for it. Although the Mike Mularkey ended up kind of giving us Vrabel, which seems to have been the right decision to go with. But that's many years later. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to fix this. You want change, but I don't really know of a way to make it happen that people aren't just going to get around it, or it doesn't feel inauthentic.
The force. I mean, like I said, I think the force change is kind of bullshit, right? It's not like you said, authentic change. It's this falsified, flat out crap rule that we tried to implement and kind of half-ass. Yeah, it's kind of caught up to us. So now, you know what? We're going to force minorityism on you. And, I mean, as the minority.
You're a minor?
Right? As the minority of the country, it's just like, give them a bone so they'll shut up kind of thing. It's like, it's not any different from that, right? Like, I don't think there's any genuine interest in the minority employment. Like, and again, the whole may the best man win. Like, we can cut that crap too. Like, I think that's bullshit. I think it's just another bullshit thing.
Well, I think obviously in the perfect world, the person most qualified is the one you get it. However, when you're making a hiring decision, it's all subjective and you never know. And a lot of people go with what they're comfortable with. Well, you've got all white owners, and what do you think they're going to be comfortable with?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, if you truly want to change it, you need a black owner. Like, I'm sorry, you need a minority. You need more minority owners in the league. If you really want to change it, that's what you need.
Well, fellas, moving on from the subject that will never, I mean, it's never going to change. Hopefully it will, but we probably won't see it. Yeah. But to another sad note, Dwayne Haskins lost his life this weekend. Thoughts and prayers to his family, friends. I know it's a tough one. We were kind of talking about before going live. Adam Schefter and Gil Brandt are both kind of under siege about their comments. Reese, let's start with you. What's your thoughts about it?
They still have a job, so they just get pats on the back and slaps on the wrist. This is not the first time in the last year Adam Schefter has said something insensitive. There's no repercussions to anything he does because he's Adam Schefter. It's just, and Gil Brandt's like fucking 200,000 years old. So nobody really gives a shit about it, what he says. He's going to die in like hopefully 10 days or something. I mean, again, it's just like there's no repercussions for anything these people say. So it's just one of those things. What's the point in arguing about it? Like, Adam Schefter's done this like 4 times in the last 6 to 8 months. Just, either spilling out information that's not true and sensitive things, just taking a subject that's like already, hard to take for a lot of people and basically throwing something irrelevant at it just so that something sticks. Like, yeah.
John, you were talking about earlier. You kind of think Adam Schefter just needs to let him go, right? I'm not letting him go, but just move on from it because
I'm not calling for anybody's jobs. Like Gil Brandt is a different story, but just Adam Schefter in particular, it's like I don't think he had any malicious intent. I think he's just sort of somebody who was just kind of filling out a headline. It was like, okay, this person is passed away, and what do we know about him? I don't think it's like it's insensitive. Obviously, I think he's borderline at best, but I'm not gonna like. He's not running on stage and slapping somebody. I don't need to fire the guy. Like, I don't care.
so.
And
No,
everybody has different
He
sensibility
basically-
levels. I don't. It just.
But he basically slapped somebody without slapping.
No, he
somebody.
didn't.
Oh,
He
okay.
said words.
Oh, because the physical action of slapping didn't occur.
It's different. Yes, it's
Oh, I
different.
see.
Those are very different things.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. But but again, everybody has different sensibility levels, and mine it's whatever. This is just how I feel. I think that there are bigger things that we get worked up over. I don't, and it just comes to what do we feel? I feel a certain way. I don't think that Schefter is trying to cut somebody down. I think it's just what it is. I think it's just a poor oversight. I'm willing to give some leeway on this. I am going to move on. It's not something I'm going to occupy my time with. The more important thing is that somebody died, and it's unfortunate for those, for his loved ones. And that's what you should focus on rather than getting the anger out on somebody who just had a unfortunate oversight in their wording in comments.
All right, Justin, who are you, Team Hurries or Team John?
I'm probably on Team John. In all honesty, I think at the end of the day, he had to post something at 12 o'clock or whatever time it was, and that just happened to be the content for that day. I don't think it was him trying to be a scumbag. Now the other dude, Gil Brandt,
That's a different story. That guy had some anger behind it. There's something he had in mad. He was mad at Dwayne Haskins or something.
Yeah, I think he can go fly a kite in a thunderstorm and enjoy himself because, when I read that, I was like, or when I guess it was a video showing the audio, what he said. It was just really
I was listening to that. I was listening to audio. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That-
I guess for me, kind of just to clarify, I'm not upset that he tweeted what he tweeted because to be honest, when I initially read it, I thought nothing of it. And then I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. It's took a step back, and it's almost like if I was at a job and I did something like this multiple times, eventually it goes past, he's just doing his job. You've got to be held accountable for the mistakes that you make. And eventually, enough apology tweets there's got to be some repercussions to the actions that you have.
I get that, but I think in this day and age,
where I'm
it's
thinking
never
about
gonna
it.
it's never gonna happen.
Sure.
Because
and
you have
that's
people that are in
problem
the
with our
media.
world.
Yeah, you have media all over the place that's just spitting whatever they can to get clicks and views, and that's the world we live in now, and that's what sucks about it all.
So we got a comment from the group. He passed away in a freak accident. What does his struggles in NFL have to do?
That's why I say it's so Adam Schefter is reporting these sports news to everybody, right? You're not always a Washington fan. You're not always like us that have followed all this stuff, but he's trying to put the bullet points of, okay, who is this person? How do we remember? He talks about him, Ohio State, and he talked about how he struggled in Washington and Pittsburgh. He's giving you the bullet points of what the most amount of people would remember. I'm not saying it's right. What I'm just saying is that's what he's trying to do to get your attention to remember who this person is. What are they most known for? Yes, it's an insensitive oversight, but that's what you do in order to remind everyone who this person is, because not everybody knows who Dwayne Haskins is. Not everybody is us. We knew who he was as soon as we found out about it, but not everybody does.
But the general public, that makes it even less
excuse
relevant.
it. It does. I'm not saying it excuses it. I'm just saying that's why you say those sorts of things. You kind of get to the gist of it.
Kind of piggyback off what Justin said. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. He got clicks. He got retweets. Even though he did end up deleting it and rewriting it, I mean,
Sure.
he got what his mission was, and that's to.
And he posted some bullshit ass video today.
Yeah.
Fucking tool. That's it. I don't, it's just like that. That's the other piece to this. Is like, why? Again, it's just he knew what he did was incorrect, so he's just trying to stay face. Like that's you made the mistake. You deleted the tweet. You posted another tweet. Why post another tribute video? And you're just like, now you're just continuing. Now you're just purposely harping on it.
Well, now he's just trying to dig himself out of a hole.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, it's fine. Like, but that's
like whatever. Yeah.
But it comes for me. It just comes back to the same thing. I don't think he meant any. I don't think like I said, I don't think it was malicious intent. I don't think he meant that. And you just kind of like, I don't know. It feels like it might. And it also comes down to like my sensitivity level it's not going to go off on this. It's
again, for me, it's more of the amount of times versus just this one instance.
I did look up Adam Schefter's favorite band, and let me check real quick.
No.
It is Tool. It is Tool.
Oh, perfect.
It is Tool.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, see, now he's just matching his personality then, I guess.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, let's move on to why we're here. Free agency, round 2. Not a lot of things have happened for us, so hopefully it's a quick update. I'll start off with the Texans. We signed running back Marlon Mack, which I think was a huge pickup. He's coming off Achilles injury 2 years ago. It was a healthy scratch last year, but when you had Jonathan Taylor, I mean, that's perfect reason why. And we also bringing in cornerback from the Steelers, Steve Nelson.
Wait, y'all got Steve Nelson?
We're brought him in for an interview.
Oh, okay. I was like, what in the shit are we doing here?
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't mind that.
Not my segment. My bad.
I wouldn't mind that pickup. Be pretty good. So far, getting rid of the drama and of Deshaun Watson and adding a couple pieces here and there, I give us a B-. The getting rid of the whole Deshaun Watson drama was the big key, and I think we got what we needed out of him. So,
Do you think you got enough out of that?
Yes, and this is why. He screwed us the Browns screwed us when they gave him that big monster contract. That took out everything we could get. We couldn't get extra players.
Right.
I mean, we end up getting the most first round picks in here. I mean, tied with Herschel Walker, but we got the most ever. So I mean, we got something out of it. There's still a chance he might not play next year. So that Browns will still have a somewhat bad record.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NFL's still investigating, right? They're still investigating, right?
Yeah,
well, he's still entitled to.
Yeah, it's still up in the air.
Well, yeah, civil suits is one thing, but the NFL is going to do they're doing their own investigation.
Right. So, well, I like players, yeah, but I mean, you're not going to get
You have to pick the right players.
You're not getting a Miles. I know what Texans fans expected. They expected a Myles Garrett and a Nick Chubb. You're not getting that. You're not getting that 3 first. It's just not happening. And they're also expecting Newsome and that safety from Texas Tech. Can't think of his name. Red Wine or something like that. But yeah, not happening. But yeah, I like it. 3 first, 3rd, 4th next year. We have top 80 picks. We got 6 of them in the top 80. So best way to improve, right? Just rebuild.
Who's drafting it? Like, who's the GM? I already forget.
Nick Casario.
Okay.
I like Nick. I think he's done a great job so far.
Having all the picks is great. You got to make the right calls. So you feel good about him doing it?
He had 6 picks last year, and 6 of them produced pretty good last year. So if he can hit half of the 12 he got this year, that's success. So I'll take it. Moving on, John, what you got?
Not a whole lot has changed since last we were on there. Most of the moves were made, and then it seemed as if that was going to happen, and then you just sort of make little minor signings. Guys agree to terms with like practice squad guys here and there. Just nothing too crazy. Everyone's looking forward to the draft. There was something else I was going to say, but I have already forgotten it. Must not have been important. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. Same stuff.
Y'all seem to make some good moves with Woods and Hooper. So I mean,
I liked Austin Hooper in Atlanta. I always liked him there, but he never really did a whole lot in Cleveland. I don't know if that's like a Njoku thing. I'm not really sure what Njoku. I don't know. I don't know what it was like. I'm not sure what it was going on in Cleveland. Maybe it just wasn't the right fit. I don't know.
Baker Mayfield.
Maybe, I don't know. But I always left him in Atlanta. His most success was there. I think he was a rookie on that 2016 team. I've liked him. I thought he was fun. So I'm hoping to see how he flourishes. It seems as though he's a little bit more of a well-balanced. He's not like a A+ in any category, but we kind of need somebody at tight end that's going to be able to do all three. Like block, pass, and then maybe even run if we need to. Not pass, geez, what am I talking about? Block, catch, and then maybe even run in a sweep or something like that. Because the combination of the three tight ends we had last year was just somebody was good at one thing but terrible at the other two. So maybe just a more well-rounded. And I love Robert Woods. I think that's a really good signing if he's healthy. We'll see how the injury goes. Obviously, we're having really bad luck with signing veteran wide receivers in the offseason. Hopefully this won't be that trend.
So before the draft, what is your grade of off season so far?
It's just I don't know, B minus something. I mean, we were kind of like we were kind of stuck where we were with this roster. It was always going to have to be the way our cap was. We were always going to kind of have to run it back. I know a lot of people was really hoping that we could unload Tannehill and get a better quarterback. It was just never going to happen the way it was going to be. So we're going to be worse than this year, but it's just because we kind of have to be. We're just kind of where we are.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You think you're going to be worse?
In terms of because our players are, I think so. Yeah, I think we're going to be worse off. But me, that's how I feel. That's how I always am.
You're the goddamn anti-Titan.
Pretty much.
I forgot.
I know. It's the sky's falling. That's how I always feel.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start off, or not start off. Let's go to the guy who the team started off with a bang, signing like everybody. It seemed like, and then this kind of died down. Justin,
what's up?
How you like your off season? Your grade? Any moves since last time? Since all the big ones first week?
Not lately. I think I am happy with where we are. In all honesty, going into the draft, I would have liked to have a couple more wide receivers and maybe a little bit more O-line help, but we are where we are, and I'm okay with it. Going into the draft, I think the goal should be is to take one of our lowest scoring offenses we've ever seen in the past 20 years, along with the league. I think at this point we need to improve that at this point. And that's offensive line help. That's wide receiver help. We just need to improve the offense. Fuck the defense. I want to win. I want to lose games by scoring 42 to 38. That's how I want to lose. I don't want to lose 21 to 3.
I want to see touchdowns.
Yeah. I want to see just scoring. I don't care if we lose by 21 to 28. That's cool. I just don't want to lose, like I said, 21 to 3. That shit is boring. So.
I think you guys will be all right.
So what's the final grade?
B minus, because you had an opportunity to go out there and get better wide receivers, and I get it that Allen Robinson went to the Rams. I get it. There's a bunch of guys out there, but we got Christian Kirk. It is what it is. Hopefully in the draft that we can look at it. And
there's so many great receivers coming out of this draft, though. So.
Yeah, there's guys like
Kirk.
Yeah, there's going to be guys like Pickens and Jameson Williams that's going to be there in the second round that I think that we can go after and get and be good with.
Christian Watson, there's a whole bunch of guys. The guy from Memphis.
That's where I'm not stressing. But if we go Hutchinson and then we do something stupid and go some dumb linebacker from some dumb school that, I'll be pissed. But as of right now, I'm happy with where we are.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on to Ballard Watch 2022. Hurries. Any moves as of late? I know y'all picked up a couple of safeties that don't have the name Honey Badger in it. Is he there? Hurries?
Oh, did we make a move in free agency?
The best. You got the best quarterback in the league.
You're the best quarterback in the division. I mean, so I never had a chance to talk about Matt Ryan. I'm really excited about Matt Ryan. I know John Haas is excited about him too. It's like his favorite player in NFL history.
He is my favorite player ever.
So I can't wait for you to get your. I'm going to tell the old joke. I can't wait for you to get your Matt Ryan Colts jersey.
It's going to happen.
I know.
There's only 2 games I want the Colts to lose this year.
Both Titans games.
That's it.
No, I'm really excited about Matt Ryan. I mean, I think he's going to do the things Carson Wentz couldn't do, which is throw the ball underneath to Nyheim Hines and actually give him the ball. I do think he is like a 35-7 type guy. He's not going to throw a lot of picks. He's going to take the plays that he's supposed to. He can still throw the deep ball if he needs to. I love Matt Ryan. And Yannick Ngakoue, look, I understand Rocky Sin is finally starting to come up. We're in an age where you need good quarterback play, really good skill players on the outside at wide receiver, believe it or not. And on the other side of the ball, you need to be able to get to the quarterback. And I really think Jan really solidifies our defense. I wanted him last year when he was a free agent. So Ballard basically wasted, could have kept Rock and signed Jan last year. So I think Jan with Quiddy and DeForest and Grover Stewart, I think does really well. The one thing that, and I think it's interesting. Like I'm not off the Ballard train. I'm not on the Ballard. I'm kind of 50-50 teetering. I am concerned that one of Ballard's big things is to sign his own, and yet he let Odom walk away. He let a couple guys that were pretty important to our team walk away. And he signed some dude from Kansas City, not named Honey Badger, who's got a special teams guy, which made no sense. Why didn't you just pay George Odom? Who's by the way is an all-pro special teams player. So that made no sense to me. We'll see. I mean, I think kind of like you said, we still need wide receiver help. There's a lot of wide receivers out there.
Speaking of wide receiver help, we got a group question. What up with Strachan?
Yeah, so Mike Strachan I think Mike Strachan's really good, but Mike Strachan was a 7th round pick. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, you don't get a lot of those guys who pan out in the league. Probably good depth guy. I'm not putting my money on the bank, especially with our depth at the receiver position being so shitty already on Mike Strachan. Like, I'm really not. I'm sorry. I mean, I think we need to double dip and get two receivers at least in this draft. George Pickens, Christian Watson, Jahan Dotson. Like, man, there's so many of them, kind of like you guys have mentioned. David Bell is out there. I mean, there's just a lot of names out there that we could get. Obviously, George Pickens is my number one guy. I've been on George Pickens' train for a while. I don't really know too much about Christian Watson. I know he's big as shit. And I think there's some interesting slot guys. We have to replace T.Y. I don't want T.Y. back. Like, we've got to replace him. So, a Jahan Dotson or even a Wan'Dale Robinson kind of fits that mold. So, I mean, there's lots of options out there. So we'll see. I'm really hoping they're holding out. Usually Ballard doesn't really fill out the roster from free agency until after the draft. But we'll see. I'm kind of 50-50 right now with Ballard. At the end of the day, I really don't care what he does. He needs to start winning on the field. And if we don't make the playoffs or win the division this year, he's gone, in my opinion.
Losing Pascal seems like an underrated loss for y'all from a league point of view.
Pascal can suck a left and a right nut. Don't really care.
Does he put both of them in? Does he put both of them in, or does he put one and then puts the other?
Well, when you play 18 games and get 300 yards, he probably does both. Honestly.
Okay, just
That's efficient.
Just for the viewer's sake, I want a visual for that.
He probably does that and the tip as well.
So what?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like okay. Wow.
That's how much that's how done I was with Zach Pascal.
Draft grade so far for Ballard. What's he got?
Off-season grade?
Yeah.
D plus.
D plus. Okay.
He's a
D
cheap
plus.
bastard. That's why.
D plus.
You signed a great quarterback.
C-. That's about it. What else have we done? We haven't done it. We've lost players. We've lost players.
That's all you need is Matt Ryan, bro.
Look, don't get me wrong. Matt Ryan's gonna be awesome, and I'm super excited. Yannick Ngakoue, I think, is gonna be great. But
you got Justin. What's on your mind, Justin?
He's already losing his mind.
Like Matt Ryan. What did Matt Ryan do last year?
Name Matt Ryan's best receiver last year.
I don't give
Kyle
a shit.
Pitts.
He's gonna be in the same position there, dude.
And
with
Calvin
the same
Ridley when he
shitty-
wasn't taking the game to win money.
Yeah, same shitty receivers there. And
Yeah.
Yannick Ngakoue, I watched him, bro. You know what?
Yeah.
He's a one-trick pony.
Awesome.
He's a pass rusher on first and second down, and when
That's
you run
all
the
we
ball,
need. Well, I don't understand. Okay, let's talk about this.
No, I don't
We
want to talk
don't-
about it because I
we
don't
don't
care.
need-
But at the end of the day,
clearly it hit a nerve of yours.
I'm just telling you that when they go to run the ball and they run
Yeah.
straight at him, he's going to be
Yeah.
like, "Let him through, baby, let him through."
You know-
There's
you
the
know-
end zone.
You know why they're not going to run
Ah.
straight at him? Because he's not going to be there on running downs. That's
Wait,
why.
are you kidding me?
He's there to be a third down rusher. He's there
Okay.
to get to the quarterback. He's not going to be there on running downs. I can almost guarantee it.
All right. Well, I'm telling you right now that you're going to get pissed like halfway through the season when you realize that everyone's just, hey, what side's Yannick on? Oh, run that way.
Okay.
He's good.
I wish we had speedy linebackers behind him too. Oh wait, we do. We'll be all right.
Oh, well, you're going to have to, that defense is going to be on the field a lot because Matt Ryan, yikes.
At the
Hey,
end of the day-
Yikes.
watch your mouth.
Yikes.
At the end of the day, if they're not,
Keep Matt Ryan's name out your mouth.
Well, I
well, you worry about generational talent, 12 touchdown Trevor Lawrence, and in a season, and I'll
see,
worry about
that's
Matt
just
Ryan.
about a whataboutism. Like
No,
you're just
no.
changing
No,
the
no.
subject
Well, here
because
it-
you don't want to
listen.
face the facts that Matt Ryan is old.
and statistically still better than any other quarterback in this division.
Hey,
Okay.
the only thing Trevor Lawrence is missing is the opportunity.
I mean,
Hey, you go hope that your generational talented quarterback can go throw to the 8 million receivers you get this offseason.
he does have. He
and
did
I'll
go through a
go
better
worry.
line.
Yeah,
Here's the
And
thing, like it's not fair because Trevor Lawrence has played 1 year. Matt Ryan has been here since 2008. So
Joe
it's like, of
Burrow-
course he's statistically better than Trevor Lawrence. Of course he is.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
Joe
Harish.
Burrow
Go
as
ahead.
a rookie was better than anything Trevor Lawrence did last year, and Joe Burrow played a quarter of the season.
It's not in our division.
It doesn't matter.
You just
All
said
right.
you had the best statistical quarterback in the division. And I said, of course he does. He's got a 12-year head start.
All right.
Well, he was
hold
good
on.
even just last year. If we
So
said just
Joe-
last year,
Matt Ryan was rookie of the year.
we're not talking about rookie of the year. He wasn't in the division as his rookie year.
I'm just saying if we want to make a comparison between Matt Ryan and Trevor Lawrence, you just compare the rookie years.
My problem with Trevor Lawrence is he plays in a very highly favorable offensive NFL, and he only managed to get 12 touchdowns last year.
Get the hell out of here, dude! I don't
Come
understand
on,
how
Justin.
I don't understand that how the subject changed from your quarterback to my quarterback when we're clearly
Because you
talking
wanted
about
to
your
change
quarterback. I did not want to change it. I was telling you that Matt Ryan's going to be terrible this year.
Oh,
and
okay.
that
Well, then
the
you're
defense is going to be on the field a lot,
Listen,
and you
as-
can't convince me otherwise because the receivers that he had in Atlanta is going to be pretty much verbatim what he's going to have in Indianapolis. They don't have a stud number one wide receiver to get him past the point. Now, if we're going to go defend my boy Trevor Lawrence, to be honest, okay, to be honest, if you look at our receiving core last year and our makeup of the coach, you could probably make the case as to why there was no progression there from him. But at the end of the day, I could give a shit less about last year. We're moving forward. My future, I'm more happy with than having a 36, 37-year-old quarterback go into a team with no receivers, good running back. So, yeah, maybe all he has to do is convert third down to be successful.
You have an elite running back.
Okay, however you want to phrase it. But my point is that –
Oh, so we don't have – okay, so we have no elite running back. All we had was Michael Pittman Jr., who doubled his production last year with Carson Wentz, and is just going in to get a better quarterback. No, you're right. Hey, you know what? Let's just chalk this up. The Colts are going to go 6-10 next year, 6-11.
Before we move on, I'm going to play devil's advocate from both of them. Matt Ryan is going to a better offensive line. The Falcons line was terrible, and you can't say it wasn't. The Colts is a lot better. Is way improved.
Matt Ryan had a 90% quarterback rating last year with that terrible O-line.
And
imagine what he does with the good one.
And with Trevor Lawrence.
Matt Ryan threw for 4,000 yards with a really terrible offensive line last year.
Urban was complete garbage as a coach. He failed him as a coach. You got Doug Peterson as the head coach.
Who failed Carson Wentz and then threw him under the bus when he was done with them.
What the fuck are we talking about? He won a fucking Super Bowl. What planet are you on right now?
With Frank Reich as his offensive coordinator.
Carson Wentz never won a Super Bowl.
Frank Reich doing right now?
Carson Wentz never won a Super Bowl.
Frank Reich hasn't had a consistent quarterback.
Carson Wentz did win a Super Bowl.
Carson Wentz saw a Super Bowl get won.
Carson Wentz statistically had the greatest season of his life that year before he got hurt.
He didn't play. Right. What were his stats in that Super Bowl?
Okay, but like you can't say he stunk that year and he didn't.
He got a ring. I get it.
Yeah, but he was on pace to have like a phenomenal year.
I'm just being like a
facetious.
I'm being a douche.
Got it.
You're being John. We get it.
I will be able to truly judge Frank Reich when he has a fucking quarterback for more than 1 year. He's had 5 quarterbacks in 5 seasons.
Find every reason to defend your coach. Go ahead.
I will say that.
How do you want him to do? Okay, he's had 5 quarterbacks in 5 seasons. Name a head coach that's gone through.
I think Philip Rivers played a lot better than I thought.
2 quarterbacks.
It's the most important. In 7, how long was he there? How long? 2 quarterbacks in how many years?
He got ran out by management because he didn't like the decision making. They didn't like him.
Fine. Look, you know what? It doesn't. If you get a new person at the most important position in the entire fucking league, don't even worry about it.
But okay, so you're saying Frank Reich is a great quarterback coach, correct?
Every quarterback he has had, he's gotten the most out of.
Okay.
Now, did that translate into wins and losses? No, but statistically, Carson Wentz was
doesn't sound like it's the most.
Hold on.
What was he? He was a 15-17 quarterback 2 years ago. He was 27-7. Was he terrible situationally? God awful. But if you look at the season as a whole, Carson Wentz had some pretty good games. He was just god awful in the most critical of moments.
But hold on. But what I'm saying,
God, I wish you had re-signed him.
Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson had some great. He made some quarterbacks great. Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes, Carson Wentz.
What did Doug Peterson do with Patrick Mahomes?
Hey, I think Alex Smith was great before he showed up to KC.
Was he the quarterback coach?
No, he was offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
I think Alex Smith was better before he showed up to KC.
The numbers were way better in Kansas City than were in
right.
Kansas
Yeah, but that's just because of the way that that. It's just because you had what was it, Kelsey, and then who was their running back? It wasn't Hunt at the time. Jamal Charles. That's what it's because
Kareem
like
Hunt. I mean,
yeah, but like Alex Smith, the way because if you look at like what they did in San Francisco with not Jim, was it Jim Harbaugh? Who was it there? Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, the way that they ran that, like Andy Reid just took him and said, "Okay, you're going to do that, and it's going to be even better." And it was better. They didn't do anything different with Alex Smith from San Francisco to Kansas City. If that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry,
but I mean, I'm just saying.
distracted.
I'm saying is Doug Peterson has a good track record with quarterbacks too. So
That's true.
You got to give him a time and chance. I'm paying devil's advocate. Gotta give him time.
I think he's gonna. I mean, anything is better than Urban Meyer. I mean, obviously. So, and I think Doug Peterson will do some great things.
Hey, Doug Peterson coached Carson Wentz to a Super Bowl championship.
No, don't recant your fucking statement. Don't recant your statement, Hurry. Don't recant your statement. You keep your statement that Frank Wright is the reason that Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl. I want you to keep it.
So what did Doug Peterson do after Frank Reich left?
All right.
So no. Hold on. If I said that he won a Super Bowl because of Frank Reich, what did Doug Peterson do that was so great
He
left besides get fired?
He won more playoff games and division titles than Frank has since he left the Eagles.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Actually, I think they won the same amount.
No.
He's won twice.
No, he won against he beat the Chicago Bears in the playoffs the year after the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then they won the division the year after that.
Fucking division titles.
All right, before moving on, we got a couple comments. Personally, I'm willing to blame Urban and Urban solely for wasting year one of Lawrence development. Next year, there's no leap. Then it's worry time. No left tackle in Indy.
I don't know who you're talking about. I got a left tackle.
Carson's body failed him, not coaching. The statue of Wentz outside the stadium for a reason.
Okay,
I'm
Nick
sorry.
Foles?
Yeah. Statue of Foles.
Yeah.
Carson's body failed, but he played 100% of the snaps last year. Behind his one.
O'Brien won how many division titles before Watson got drafted?
We got Osweiler won
two.
I don't remember.
Basically, every year Andrew Luck was hurt, he won.
Bingo. Anything better than Urban? Urban probably made Lawrence development go in reverse. Oh well.
Sometimes I wish, I want to pull up our shows from last year and see what everyone was thinking about the Urban Meyer hire.
And then who's the left tackle?
Justin thought it was awesome.
No, I didn't.
Who's the left tackle?
I don't remember.
Matt Pryor.
No, that was Matt Grieve. That was
Matt Grieve was.
Matt Grieve
he was in there for a while.
He was all in love. All right, guys. Well, before we end this wonderful show, real quick, who do you want your team to get with your first pick, Carice? I know you don't got a first round, so I'll start with you. Second round pick, day 2.
I don't care. Just don't trade.
Or do you think they're going to trade up?
I hope they trade up. Second and third. If I hear anything but 2 wide receivers on Friday, I might lose my shit. And they better not trade down. Those are my only 2 conditions. They have to get 2 wide receivers. This wide receiver class is just too deep to leave alone. And we have too many needs there.
All right. Justin, first overall, once again, who do you think? You're taking a tackle to protect Lawrence, or are you going DE?
I'm okay either way. I do not want Hutchinson because I don't think Hutchinson is going to be that guy. I really
don't think he's a Bosa like everybody thinks he is?
No, I watched the tape and I just don't see it on my side. But if it was my decision today, I'd take Evan Neal in the first round. I'd take either Nakobe Dean in the second round, or I would either take George Pickens or Jameson Williams in the second round. Whoever's there. There's so much depth. I feel like in a lot of positions where high round ceiling players like wide receiver. So a lot of good defensive ends as well. There's a lot of good defensive tackles, but once you get past the top 3 tackles that aren't going to leave the first round, there's not much after that. Now there's interior linemen after that, but I think at this point, I'd rather go ahead and get Evan Neal and just secure. Leave Cam Robinson there for another year. If he signs, great. If he walks, great. Who gives a shit? Evan Neal will fill in. Walker Little, move him to right tackle, and then you really have a solid young O-line that will be there for years. And to replace Miles Jack, Nakobe Dean, it's just better version of Miles Jack, but he can cover.
I have been following a lot on Twitter to the Jaguars camp. A lot of close people are saying they're going to take Walker with the
Quay
first
Walker.
Is
I
that-
just don't.
Trayvon Walker, is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh
Trayvon?
yeah.
Trayvon
Yeah.
Walker,
Yeah.
out of Georgia.
Yeah.
You're a Bulldogs fan. Would that make you happy? Would it,
Yeah. I mean, I just like again, I've said it from the beginning. You know, our defense was better than we thought it was going to be last year. But I think at the end of the day, like what I want to see is us score points. I'd rather lose 28-21 instead of 21-3. So I'd rather adjust that now and, you know, get by with what we have because I just, in all honesty, I just want to score points. That's all. I want to give Trevor the best chance he can to score points.
John, we know you don't like college. You don't know anybody coming out of the draft. So what position do you hope the Titans?
I hope they draft a generational talent.
I've actually seen a mock draft where they trade Baltimore's 13th pick and pick Malik Willis out of Liberty quarterback.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
Yeah.
I looked at like mock drafts. It's like, here's the thing. What we'll probably do is get like an offensive lineman. That's probably what'll happen. I've seen some that said we draft like a quarterback as like a backup or what. I mean, I just I don't know. It's like I don't know who these people are. So it's like I just like I just like to see what positions we get and then be like, okay, that's interesting. All right, whatever. But like I don't know who they are from a hole in the wall. So
is it time to start looking for Tannehill's replacement?
Yeah, it's time to start looking for Derrick Henry's replacement.
I don't disagree. You don't know what that injury is. Like,
I was very sad. It's like I was very sad the way that our money position was. Is that there was no way we were going to be able to afford Deontay Foreman because I was like, okay, there he is. There's the replacement right there.
Yeah,
and we were never going to be able to pay him.
He went to Carolina, didn't he?
Yeah, we were never going to be able to pay him what Carolina did. So
with the Texans, the good thing is the Malik Willis draft stock is rising.
Massively.
I know the Falcons are talking about trading the 8th pick to the 3rd. So I would take a couple more second round picks in the 1st. I mean, that'd be great. But if you don't, man, I would love to have Kyle Hamilton and Sauce Gardner with the 3rd and the 13th. But I don't think neither will be there. But I'm really high on Sauce Gardner right now. I think he's going to be the best corner in the draft. And
that's what I was thinking too.
With Kayvon being gone, I think either Justin, you take him, or Detroit takes Kayvon there. I don't think Hutchinson would see 3rd either. So yeah, you gotta go. You gotta help with that. You gotta help the defense. They were ranked 32 last year, even though they did it a lot better. Yeah, you gotta go Sauce Gardner or Kyle Hamilton.
I don't know what value there is in this, and I don't know really what it means. The one thing I would keep an eye out for is I have seen, again, this could just be just them doing it, but Malik Willis has been in Indy the last couple of days visiting with the Colts. I don't know if that means anything. I personally don't put any weight into it because we don't have any capital.
Yeah. You're gonna trade your whole team for him?
I mean, you don't need to trade your whole team, but you're gonna have to trade some assets, right? There's one player that I'm willing to part ways with today and not be sad about it.
Quentin Nelson.
That's Ryan Kelly. I'm willing to part ways with Ryan Kelly. Quentin Nelson, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm borderline getting rid of Quentin Nelson. My problem with Quentin Nelson is, do we really need to pay a guard $20 million when there's guards all over the league that are playing really well, right? And they make 3/4 of that. That's gonna be a next offseason thing. That's gonna be really interesting. Quentin Nelson's a freak of nature, but in order for, even though he's a freak of nature, I need value out of that. And if my freak of nature is going to be on the interior lineman, like what value does that give me versus if he bounces out to left tackle and plays left tackle and gets his $20 million, by all means. Nobody wants to, I'll be glad to put him at left tackle. right? So that's going to be interesting. I don't know, but I in a trade, I'm willing to get rid of Ryan Kelly because you're going to have to give something up to get your quarterback. So I don't think they're going to do anything, but I'm very interested just because he's been there a couple times in just like the last week or so.
All right. Well, guys, with that being said, catch us on the Fan Battle Sports Network. Also, download the Prize Pick apps and use the code FBSN for double your money. You can be like Calvin Ridley and win some money. Guys, tell us where we can find you. Justin, start with you. Where can we find you on social media?
At Bearded Guns, or at Doug Peterson is worse than Frank Wright. whichever one you can find.
Whichever one you can find.
Hurries. What about you?
I'm at We Can't Win in Jacksonville. At Beat 'em once a year. I'm at the Uncle Gandhi. I got nothing.
Yeah, it's hard to follow Justin there. John, what about you?
A1 Day 1 Texans.
There you go.
You got any complaints? Any complaints? I'm ready for them.
One of us got caught cheating, so we had to share Twitter. So you find me and John at A1 Day 1. Follow the podcast everywhere at AFCFB. Till then, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see you before the draft. See ya.
Peace.
I stay repping for the slums where the young bucks started loaded up just to bust rounds. I'm steady having flashbacks.